thank you ever so much for joining me on the International Classroom podcast today. One of the things I've started with this year is asking educators to introduce themselves. So how would you like to introduce yourself?
Okay, I'm Renad Turki. I'm basically I'm a chemical engineer, fundamentally, let's say. And while pursuing my master's degree, I did the teaching assistant and research assistant. While doing the teaching assistant, I discovered that I really like teaching stuff. I really like the academic environment. I liked being with the students, the undergraduate students. And after graduating from the master's degree, I thought, I think I made a mistake. And yeah, I decided to join academia. So I didn't work in engineering a lot. I did 2 years or 3 years of research, but in the biomedical field and the chemical engineering. And then when I started my real career, I directly went to schools. And I started as science teacher and then math teacher. Like 2 years ago, I got 2 babies. So being a mom and a teacher is a hard job. So I decided it's time to take a break and gave priority to my 2 kids. While staying at home, I thought, okay, I don't want to miss that. Something new is happening. There is a new era of AI. If I missed it, I won't be able to join the education train anymore. So I started to explore AI and this new technology. I love it. I really, and then I went to dive deep with AI in education. I started with the Magic School, and then I discovered almost every AI education tool and platform. And then I said, okay, let's now do another career shift and let's go to training. Now I'm doing a freelance part-time. That's something that suits my mom responsibility, let's say, being mom. And now I'm a teacher trainer. So
fantastic. Oh, fantastic. How is the teacher training going for you so far?
Nice, very nice. Especially, I'm just specializing in AI, and it's a new topic. Everyone is interested. Everyone is positive about it.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so let's dive into some of your areas of specialism, because you've got a real diverse background in terms of the engineering side, and obviously talk about the mathematics side. And I think one of the things we see a lot of at the moment is AI in English and those types of things. But let's look at the math side of it. How are you seeing AI being used in mathematics?
Okay, like AI is transforming math, really. I heard that AI basically was not built for math concepts in the beginning. And it was not really good. When one and a half year or 1 year when I started really to try it and to discover it, it was not good in math. But I believe it's becoming really better and it's enhancing really well. So yeah, it will transform the math education. It will offer personalized learning experience for students. It will the gamifying math platforms. They will engage more. They will let students to be engaged more. And another good thing is that it will turn problem-solving challenges to something like more fun and more relatable. You can easily now relate any concept in math to real life situation using some AI tools. So we can finally answer students' question, why are we learning this in math? Really, and just you don't have to deeply think to give them an answer. Now just ask the help of AI, and it really help you to give relatable problems and situations from real life to your math concept.
Can you give us an example then in terms of the types of concepts or what you can be using to get this?
You mean like AI tool?
Yeah.
There is a special tool for in Magic School. It's called Make It Relevant. Make it relevant in Magic School. It's amazing. I tried it. If you put any topic about any subject to really make it relevant to your real life. But I really like it in math. So yeah, that's a good one, a good application.
Okay. Are you able to give us an example of this? Because I'm trying to picture it in my head. Even though I'm a science teacher, I'm not necessarily a math teacher, and me and math don't always go together very well. So I get the same question from my students, like, "Oh, why should we?" So I go in and go, "Oh, give me a real world scenario for this," and it comes up with some great stuff. So what would that look like for math? So people who are listening and watching can kind of see what the outcome of it would be.
So an example, maybe the long division. Students hate long division. So if you ask AI to make it more real life relatable, it will add the fun element to it. It will let students think about big numbers in a shopping market, or big numbers in even a PlayStation game or something, so the score or something. That's the idea. It makes whatever is around us in real life, and it connected to the concept you are teaching. So that's one nice thing, is that the big numbers while you are shopping, for example, and long division.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's having a big impact at the moment, and I think it's had a big impact on how I'm teaching at the moment, because of the ease of going, how do I make this relevant? What real world scenarios, or what real world problems, or even things like, can I bring in UNESCO's SDGs? So the kids can connect what they're learning to something more tangible and more real.
Yes.
So that's a great side of maths, but obviously your other component of your background is also with the STEM side of things. So what are you seeing in terms of them? What are you delivering about AI and STEM, and how is that impacting sort of the science and the STEM field of things?
Most importantly, the interactive hands-on learning using the simulation, for example, simulation labs. It will easily now turn any complex problem or any complex experiment, and it will visualize it to students in a nice, easy way, safe environment, without cost, just by using those simulation labs that are available using some AI tools. For example, another good thing is the 3D models. Now we can easily generate a 3D model image using AI for any concept in biology, DNA, for example, RNA. One of the examples I really liked, one of the biology teachers, she said, I want to generate a DNA image, a 3D model for a DNA image using a glass. She asked AI to generate DNA image in 3D using glass material. And she presented to the student, and she asked them to wonder, what do you think is this? Like, what will happen if this was made with glass? So yeah, it will really transfer the STEM, especially science, biology, chemistry, into more visual and easy accessible. To easy access those hard and complex concepts.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing I found it's better with, in terms of models.
Yes, you are the expert.
Sorry, but when we originally came out and you were asking it about cells, and the images it used to generate for cells were terrible. It was nowhere near what a cell would look like. And yet now, actually, the idea of trying to put in a concept to create a model for students, therefore to see and be able to describe and explain, is really, really useful. The same with like concept maps. Yes. About difficult scenarios and breaking them down and building them up. It definitely does make it more accessible for the visual and to see how these things go together. Because obviously when we teach, it's a lot of content, it's words, and not all students are able to piece together those words very quickly. So to have something that will create an image for you on the fly, as it were, like if you've got a student struggling in class, type it in and send that away. It really, really is a good tool to have. So thinking about that then, when you go into sort of training educators, like what's the most important skills and knowledge, that teachers need to develop to effectively integrate this AI into their classrooms?
Okay. They need the foundation, the basics of machine learning and data literacy. That's needed, even very briefly, very fundamental, but it's needed. After that, they need to start exploring those AI educational platform, very mind-blowing tools. However, I always ask teachers to remember that any AI tool that you are using, it must be coupled with the pedagogical strategies. So don't just to use the tool for fun. No, use it with a strategy. So we can use AI meaningfully in our lessons. For example, adding an avatar. Now everyone is, avatars are so fun. I want to have them in my lesson or in my slides. Yes, that's fun and students will like it. But before adding that avatar, you need first to decide the relevance of that fun element to your lesson and how it will serve your objective. If you think of that, and then yes, you can incorporate an avatar or whatever fun object you want. So that's another thing I always tell the teachers to think about. One third and very important point to talk about when we train teachers is the ability to critically assess those tools for their ethical considerations, their bias, the privacy, the inaccuracy. And I like always to simply tell them that there is a rule, follow that rule, the 80-20 rule. 80-20. You just need, let the AI do 80% of the work, but you still need to verify, edit, review, add your add your personality to this work, which is the 20% of the work. So those 3 points I always start when I train teachers.
Yeah, that's a really good point to make, actually, in terms of that. I like the 80-20.
Yeah.
We used to talk about that in terms of getting things done. Like you're 80% of the way there, and people then stop doing things because like that final 20%, it's fine, it'll get done. But actually thinking about it that way, that you still need to do something with it, that you still need to ideate or feedback or those little things. It's really, really important. But we're talking about it as two people here who are interested in AI and who use AI. But there are numerous educators out there that are still apprehensive, maybe don't feel comfortable or confident or competent with trying to be able to do it. Like, how do you overcome that? How do you bridge that gap to show educators that, you know, this is a good thing here, this is a good tool, and we want you to be using it?
So for those, educators that they feel overwhelmed, for example, or they're not very interested into AI, that's your question?
Yes.
Okay, for those educators, you have to start with telling them that AI is here to help you. The AI is your co-teacher. So once you start telling them that it will help you, it will not replace you, it will take a lot of your jobs done, it will automate many of your tasks, just try it. Just start simple and start small. You start to get them, maybe even just showcase one simple example of a whole lesson plan with every critical thinking question, every depth of knowledge question, every requirement is done in one click. Once you show them that showcase, you will start to get them into your side, and you'll start to convince them that, yes, I need to start thinking about it or implement it somehow.
That's a great way. And so, continuing with that, is there anything you'd recommend for them to be doing, or any resources you'd recommend for them to be using to help that?
Okay. I always recommend them to the latest information comes from the builders, the AI platforms themselves. So keep joining and attend those big AI platforms webinars, like, for example, Magic School, School AI, Snorkel, quizzes, Edpuzzles. All of those, they keep doing regular webinars. During the summer, it was one of them made a PD for teachers with different even subjects. So if you just try to stay up to date with them, stay connected, watch those webinars and attend them, interact with those webinars, I'm sure that's a very good place to start from. Yeah. Also, one very important advice, let's say, I want to give it to educators, is the importance of networking. with other fellow educators and joining learning groups where everyone will share their experience and new ideas. Oh, today I did that. It was great with the students. Oh, today I tried this and it was horrible. So this experience, we are all still new with AI. We all need this experience from everyone. We need this collaboration. So maybe they need to join those teaching groups or learning groups. And that's a really good place to start learning from.
Yeah, I think because a lot of teachers there are still questioning like the why and then the how. It's like, okay, we've got these tools, but why? Why should I use it? And the next question is, well, how? Because you've got two things. You've got how do I as an educator use it? And then, well, how do I bring it into the classroom?
Yes.
How do I get my students using it? And you've alluded to that when we talk about ethics and we talk about safety and guardrails. And that's the challenge. And even from my side, I'm delivering these things and thinking, okay, how do I bring AI into the classroom so that my students can use it rather than just, right, can you model an answer, write me an answer? It's where does it fit rather than how can I shoehorn it in? And I think that's always an important question to be asking so that, the value of it is high rather than just for the sake of. And that's one of the challenges. And so I'm curious from your side, like, what are the challenges that you've encountered when you've been trying to integrate AI into educational settings?
The one very, very, because we are here in the international classroom, let's talk about bilingual teachers. Teachers who are not proficient in English, not even written, not even, they read very briefly, for example. Especially those Arabic teachers or Islamic study education teachers or social studies teachers who are teaching it in Arabic. So those are, their skills in English is moderate, let's say. So using those AI tools usually is a challenge for them. And when I'm as a trainer, have those teachers that comes from this background, I face a challenge. And then I start thinking, okay, I need to help them because I'm also not a native English speaker. So my first language is Arabic. So I need to find a way. I discovered that most of those AI platforms, they support Arabic, but no one talks about the way that they support Arabic. So, for example, Magic School, in one click, you can change the whole language, the website, the outcome, everything. Many other websites, when you just try to play around with the settings or discover more, you will find that they support Arabic. And if, in case, it does not support Arabic, there are some small tricks I usually give to those teachers to use simple translation methods to get on board and use those AI tools. So language should not be a barrier anymore. But yeah, in the beginning, it sounds like, okay, but I don't know how to use those. They are in English. So that's a very big barrier here in UAE, let's say. That's something, another very common from everyone, as we just said before, that we have some teachers that they feel overwhelmed. That in the beginning, like 3-4 months ago, I'm sure you received those PDFs that have 150 tools for teachers. 200. Okay, yeah, we start feeling overwhelmed. How come shall I learn about those 100 or 200? So it starts to feel that AI is a new thing for the teacher to learn about. So that's what I tell the teachers every time. It's not something new we learn about. It's just something new we learn how to utilize it with our, to utilize it in our, say, teaching or classrooms.
I think whenever I've done anything in school or anything with any educators, like I always start with a big one, like that image, and it's got like 250 like different tools that say they're using AI. And I just like, no, let's just start with like 3. And it's the 3 main ones. Let's just start with ChatGPT, Gemini, and Claude. And I just start with those, the main accessible ones. And if you want to dive down any further into specific niches or fields of things that can do different things, and yes, we can do that. But just start with one. Just pick one. And go and explore that and have some fun with that. And I've managed to use it, funny enough, in terms of what you said from a language perspective. For me, who is a completely only native English speaker, I don't speak any other language. The ability to input text into it and then convert it into another language has been phenomenal. So for UAE, where we have so many multinationals or parents potentially who don't speak it, the ability to translate an email, a message, a piece of work, and then what you can do, the platforms out there like 11 Labs or whatnot, if you put the actual information in as that language, it will then speak it back to you. So you can then make an audio in Arabic or in Spanish or in French or in Mandarin. It's like, wow, actually now my ability to communicate and provide access to the content, okay, to anyone, within a quickly as that, you can get these things done. So definitely I think there's the ability to access information now is super, super easy. So obstacles, definitely, but ways and means to overcome them. Ways and means to overcome them for sure. So obviously looking ahead now, because it's a weird one at the moment, because I always find that there's so many new things coming out that the platforms themselves are releasing things and they're doing things with it before teachers can get themselves up to speed. So for example, if you saw the Notebook LM, it's like now you can create the podcast using Google's Notebook LM. And it's like, well, lots of teachers still don't know about this. Lots of teachers still don't know how to use this platform. It's like as a simple thing to start with, and yet it's another thing that comes out. And so that can be overwhelming in itself. And for people like us, it's very, very exciting. So I'm curious from your side, as someone who is training and working with educators and using AI, what are you looking forward to? What are you envisaging for sort of the future of AI in 5 years' time that excites you?
Okay, for personally, as we just talked about the language a little bit and the UAE culture here. I'm looking forward and I'm excited for the new project that UAE are working on. Maybe you got to hear about the Jace chatbot. Did you hear about it? Yeah, the Jace chatbot is trained using Arabic data. So they work hardly. I met the people who the mother company who's training even Jace. They're working hardly to train it on using Arabic language. And even with accent, because in Arabic we have accents. So they are teaching it how to understand and how to talk in different Arabic accents from different countries. So they are putting a lot of efforts. When I heard what they are doing with Jace, I was really excited. So yeah, we are heading towards a very, let's say, an outstanding Arabic chatbot. So that's one thing that I'm looking forward in maybe in the next less than 5 years, maybe in the next year, because it's almost there. Because there's a study said that, or not a study, a fact. They said that when they trained the data of the OpenAI, 93% of the data was trained in English, and 70% only using every other language. So yeah, we don't really. It's good. It's good. Still good in Arabic. It's let's say not good even. It's excellent in Arabic. But having an Arabic chatbot for those Arab, as you said, parents, teachers, educators, it will really be a big achievement.
Yeah, definitely. And also, and you may have heard more about this in terms of the UAE's, especially in Dubai, but then the agenda to get teachers trained more in AI. There was a whole thing that came out, wasn't it, at the end of last year, was some sort of prize that's going to take April 2025, isn't there? What do you know about that?
Not yet. They did not announce more details, but as you said, yes, they announced that they will reward the top 10 teachers who use the AI in their classrooms effectively. So yeah, let's see. It's really exciting.
Yeah, very excited. Yeah, so there's another reason for schools to pick out the platforms and get them getting using it. It would be great. And talking about that, obviously talking about picking out platforms. Obviously, you are day in day out working in schools. You are working with educators, but there are still schools and leaders who are starting that journey. What would be? Excuse me. That's my back to school cold you've got there. But for those teachers, those school leaders who are just starting the journey, what would be 3 key pieces of advice that you would offer them to help them along their way?
Okay, first I advise them to not to be late in implementing AI literacy and AI policy in their schools. So they need to start talking about AI. It's not something we can cover our eyes about it and let teachers dive or sort it out. No, leaders and admins really need to sit down, put AI literacy, let's say, document or whatever agreement, literacy for their teachers, for students, and also policies, because students will use it. There's no control. So the best way to control is by letting students know that, okay, we know that AI is there, and we know that some of you will be using it, but there is a policy. Follow this policy, and we will be fine. So that's one thing. Another thing is, I want to tell them that you can use AI tool, not only to write emails or announcements or whatever. There are very great AI tools for leaders and admins. For example, one of the tools I really liked is the observation notes tool. Like, for example, a leader, a subject leader, or any school leader who attends a teacher class, they can upload a video or any just simple notes they take during the observation, and let the AI write a full great report about the observation, even if just with a video. Yani. That's really nice. But of course, again, remember the 80-20. You still need to do your part a little bit. One nice way for schools, also a third way, let's say, a third advice for school leaders is to start building their own chatbot. It's not a really hard task. It will be nice. It will be like innovative to have your school chat bot personalized with your syllabus, with your policies, with your calendar. So just parents need to access that chatbot, ask that chatbot any question about your policies or whatever events you have, and the chatbot can easily answer you without trying to reach out the administration or the secretaries or So it will save a lot of time for both sides, parents and leaders.
Yeah, that's a really good way to like automate a lot of those processes, emails, communications. If parents have access to these things, again, you could probably cut down on the amount of emails and newsletters or things like that, because it's like, oh, here's the calendar, oh, here's this.
Yeah,
the information is there, which is quite clever. I've not heard that yet. I've not heard someone talk about that. So very, very interesting in that respect. So I've got two questions there for you, and I think let's do the fun one. Let's obviously talked about this a little bit. So if you put you on the spot with this, so if you could create any AI tool that could solve any problem in education, what would it be and how would it work?
A problem in education. We have many problems. But
yes,
really, AI is here to help us teachers, because we really, teachers work hard. Teachers spend hours. Most teachers spend, let's say, I don't want to say most of their weekends working on a great part of their weekends preparing for the next week. And I know, So AI tools are there. Even if you ask me 2 years ago, what would you, if you have a magical witch who will do something, I will tell her to give me a teacher assistant. So now we have that teacher assistant. AI is our assistant. I know it sounds easier than done, but when we start gradually, step by step, implementing those AI tools, it will really help us a lot. So not specific AI tool. Use AI tools available. They will really help us. They will really save us mental health and save us time, the long time we spend in our weekends preparing for our lessons.
Yeah, I can attest to that. I spend a lot of my time, my evening times, my weekend times at the moment is spent doing those things. So something like that would be greatly useful, most definitely. And lastly then, to wrap this up, if you could leave our listeners and viewers with one key takeaway about the importance of AI in education, what would it be?
Okay. Everyone said that AI will not replace teachers. And I do agree. That AI will not replace teachers. But you need to start learning now. Just now, start. Don't be late. Don't say tomorrow I will start. Start learning about AI tools as soon as possible, because we see, I don't know if you heard about the, what they call it, the Sabbrewing school in UK. It's by the game, what is that school they call it in UK? That's a school, yeah, it's the Sabbrewing program by David Game College in UK.
Yes,
Yeah. We said that it will not replace teachers, but honestly, they replace teachers by coaches. This school built a whole program using AI, teaching program using AI. No teachers, traditional teachers, no traditional curriculum. There are some coaches who mentor students and help them, guide them, and there is a personalized learning paths using AI for students to learn from. No specific curriculum. So the takeaway is start using AI now. Don't be left behind. It's time. It's time to go for that.
And that is a great note to finish on, a perfect way to end this. So, Renad, thank you so much for coming on and talking to us for the International Classroom podcast and sharing your insight on what it's like to train teachers in AI here in the UAE. Thank you ever so much for your time today. Really, really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Alex. Thank you so much to have me. It was a great time.